But hopefully you will find me sincere and truthful. Next, a combination of things I hope you'll find here today. Ideas plus inspiration.
But also with webinars as well.
Ideas plus inspiration.
Doing 3 webinars. That's crawling.
Ideas, business ideas, and social ideas, and personal ideas. We all need ideas, right? How to have a good day ideas, how to have a good year ideas, how to have your best year ever ideas, good health ideas, personal relationship ideas, how to deal with your family ideas, sales management ideas, financial freedom for the future ideas. We all need good ideas. So today, I hope you gather up by notes and by what you can remember a lot of ideas. I want to share as many with you as I possibly can in the time constraints we have. Today is going to go very rapidly. I used to think a day like this was a long day. Found out it's a pretty short day, but I'm going to go as fast as I can, share with you as many ideas as I possibly can. And here's why. Ideas can be life-changing. Ideas can be life-changing. And sometimes all you need is just one more in a series of good ideas. It's like dialing the numbers into the lock, right? You got 5 or 6 numbers dialed into the lock. The lock still won't come open, but you don't need 5 or 6 more numbers. Maybe you just need one more. And maybe a seminar like this could do it. A sermon could do it. The lyrics from a song could do it. The dialogue from a movie could do it. Conversation with a friend might do it. That one last piece you need, number. Dial it into the lock, that's it. The lock comes open, there's the door for you to walk through. And maybe this seminar today could furnish that for you. One more idea. I know you've come with a lot already. Sometimes we get the impression, I used to have that I only had this much going for me and I needed this much. Usually not true. And I'm sure not true of this audience, where I find you today, as well dressed as you look today. You know, as fine as you are sitting here today, it isn't that, you know, you've got this much going for you and you need this much. I would assume you've got this much going for you and maybe all you need is just a few more thoughts, ideas, to furnish you some ways and means to turn your life into the dream you want it to be. So, ideas. The seminar is going to be loaded with ideas. I want you to take good notes. But here's what else I hope you'll find here today, and that is inspiration. And who knows the mystery of inspiration? Why some people are inspired and some are not? You were inspired to get here. Some were not. Who knows the mystery of that? I don't know. How come you made it? The rest of them didn't make it. We don't know what that mystery is. Some people turned it down. Some people said it cost too much. Some people said it's going to take too much time. Some people are too busy, right? A lot of different excuses why some are inspired to take advantage of something that comes to town. Others pass it up. We don't know the mystery to that. Here's what I call it, mysteries of the mind. And I just leave it at that. Some things I don't try to figure out. I take the simple approach now, right? Some people do and some people don't. I mean, that's about as profound as my philosophy is. Some buy and
some don't.
Some don't buy. Some go for it and
some don't.
Some don't. Some change and
some don't.
Some don't. And if you've been around for a while, you can usually work out the numbers. Right? Out of 10, 3 do, 7 don't. Whatever business you're involved in, pretty soon you got this ratio going. The ones that do, the ones that don't. You say, well, why don't the ones that don't, how come they don't? We don't know. I just leave it as a mystery. I used to try to understand all that. I just take the simple approach now. The guy says, this happens to me, this happens to me, this goes wrong for me, and all this stuff goes wrong for me. How come all this stuff happens to me? I say, I don't know, it beats me. The best I've been able to figure out is those kind of things always happen to people like you. I mean, right? That's the best I got. I don't know. I'm an amateur on this stuff. What do I know? So just take the simple approach, right? That's how it is. Who knows? Interesting story says the day the Christian church was started. Now, I'm an amateur on the Bible, but best account I can remember, the day the Christian church was started, a magnificent sermon was preached. Great presentation. And if you're a student at all of good communication, it was one of the classic presentations of all times. The sermon, first day Christian church was started. And it said this sermon, this presentation was given to a multitude, meaning a lot of people. But it was interesting as the account gives us the record. It says when the sermon was finished, there was a variety of reaction to the same sermon. Isn't that fascinating? I find it fascinating. It said some that heard this presentation were perplexed. And I read the presentation, sounded pretty straightforward to me. Said, why would somebody be perplexed with a good, sincere, straightforward presentation? Best answer I've got. They are the perplexed. I mean, what other explanation is there? It doesn't matter who's preaching. It said some that heard this presentation mocked and laughed, made fun of the presentation. I thought, hey, this looks pretty sincere to me. If you give a sincere, honest presentation, why would somebody mock and laugh? Easy explanation. They are the mockers and the laughers. What else would you expect them to do, right? I used to try to straighten all that out, say, well, they shouldn't do that. I don't do that anymore. I've got peace of mind now. I can sleep like a baby, not try to straighten all this stuff out. I used to be so naive. I used to say, well, liars shouldn't lie. See, how naive can you be? Of course, they're supposed to lie. That's why we call them liars. They lie. They lie. So I don't straighten this stuff out anymore. Anyway, it said some that heard this magnificent presentation didn't know what was going on. And they're usually easy to spot. They're usually saying, what's going on, right? I mean, they don't know what's going on. But interesting, right? A variety of reaction to the same sincere, honest presentation. Now, it also says, in wrapping it up, some that heard the presentation believed. And I think that's who the speaker was looking for, the believers. Interesting. Now, it said the number of believers was about 3,000. So pretty good first day. 3,000. I've had some first days, but I never had 3,000. But anyway, 3,000 were believers. And that's the speaker was looking for the believers out of this multitude. And that's about as close as we can come to understanding the mystery. Some believe and some mock and some laugh and some are perplexed and some don't know what's going on. And you just have to leave it that way. Why? Because that's the way it's going to be. The way to be brilliant is to find out how it's going to be and then say, here's how it should be. I mean, that's how you become brilliant. So anyway, who knows the mystery? I call it mysteries of the mind. We don't understand, but I don't try to change it anymore. On this particular story, as far as we know, they didn't have classes after the presentation to try to de-perplex the perplexed. I mean, as far as we know, they left them perplexed. They left the mockers mocking. They let the laughers laugh. I mean, they didn't come back and try to straighten all this out. You say, well, how can you build a church? Well, make another presentation and you'll get some believers and some mockers and some laughers and some who don't know what's going on. So that's about the best we can do. So, but I'm glad I've got the believers here today. You believed enough to shell out your cash and part with your time and some of your effort and energy, and I appreciate that. So hopefully you'll find some inspiration here today. All right. To get the most out of today, a couple more notes. Number one, be thankful. That's a good way to capture the most of a day like this. Be thankful for what you already have. That shouldn't be any problem in America, being thankful. Everything we need is available in America. Everybody wants to come here, right? Last time I was here, that little presentation I gave,
Yes.
everybody wants to come here, America. People haven't plotted and schemed the last 40 years saying if I could just get to Poland, everything would be okay. No, everybody wants to come to America. Why? Everything's available here. All the books you need, all the sermons you need, all the churches you need, all the schools you need, all the instruction you need, all the inspiration you need, all the capital you need, all the markets you need, all the challenge you need, all the information you need, all the seminars you need. Everything's available here. This is America. So number one, let's be thankful for what we already have. Thanksgiving does this, opens up the doors, opens up the windows, opens up the channels. Thanksgiving for what you already have. I did a seminar one weekend up at the ranch, up at Clear Lake. Got a lodge up there. Nice setting, high valley, high serenity ranch. For the weekend, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday. People drove in from around California. I got there late Friday afternoon. Everybody had pretty well already gotten there. I couldn't believe the parking lot. Continentals and Eldorados and Mercedes and Cadillacs. And unbelievable. Ferrari, one Rolls Royce. Unbelievable. I walked in, good looking crowd about like this, sitting there ready for the weekend seminar. My opening remarks were, ladies and gentlemen, I think the rest of the world would find it strange that we have all come here this weekend to try to figure out how to do better. I think the rest of the world would say, I don't understand.
Hazel.
Guy in his Rolls Royce, and I got to get to the seminar, find out how to get another one of these Rolls Royces. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's be thankful. Here's what locks up the doors and the channels to receive more: cynicism. That locks you away. That prevents you from learning more. Being a cynic about the past and the future, a cynic about the marketplace, cynical about the people, cynical about the institution, cynical about the setup, cynical about yourself, cynical about your chances. See, that locks away all the chance for stuff to flow your way. So, good advice, I think, today. Start off, be thankful. Here's number 2, listen well. That's going to be a challenge today. I understand that. It seems like most of, our life is still going on outside these 4 walls, right? Most of our life seems like it's out, continuing out there. Family and business and associates and market and economy and whatever else is happening in the midst of your life. And to sort of, pull your attention from what's going on out there and put it in here for just a few hours, I know is a challenge. But do the best you can, listen well. Here's the last one: take good notes. Be a good student today. Take some good notes. I've not come to entertain you. As you can tell by my opening joke, right? I would not make it in Las Vegas.
One more.
So we don't have a dog and pony show today, no entertainment, but I do have some ideas. Take some good notes. Somebody showed me the other day notes that they took about 21 years ago, attending one of my seminars out in Los Angeles. He said, I still use these notes I took 21 years ago to help me in my business, relationship with my family. So I'd like to have these notes that you take today become that valuable for you. Then it would be worth me making the investment to come and spend a portion of my life, my time, my energy here. And I want this investment I'm making here today to pay off. And one of the ways it can pay off for me is for you to take good notes and then go away and use whatever makes sense. Because what I feast on coming back around is the stories out of this audience today. Sure enough, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, somebody's going to, by phone, by letter, by personal contact, walk up to me and say, the things you shared that day got me thinking. And I started making some changes. And let me tell you what's happened to my business. Let me tell you what's happened to my sales career. Let me tell you what's happened to my relationship with my family. See, that'll make it worth it for me. Not the money, the return. Something you can't buy with money.
Talk
Somebody
to him,
says,
Jim.
thank you for touching my life and taking the time to make the investment.
Thank you.
And that's what I'm all about. So if you'll become a good student today. And here's the last note. Don't be a follower, be a student.
All right, guys, we're going to start in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. It is Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, and we're going to start in 2 minutes. All right, we're going to start in 2 minutes. So spread the word. Go one more time in your group chats. Let everybody know that Mornings with Nano is live. You don't want them to miss this call. This call is going to be super powerful. And this is going to be a call that a lot of individuals, there's going to be a call that a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from. So spread the word, go in your group chats, let everybody know that the call is live and we will start in exactly 2 minutes. Go in your chats and type OTC. OTC in the chat means I am on the call, OTC. That's what we drop on my team. And everybody right now is lit on the call. So put them OTCs in the chat box. Let everybody know that we are on the call and we will start in 2 minutes, guys.
Student. You'll be happy to know today we haven't come seeking disciples. We've got no movement for you to join. I'm just here to share some of my experiences, good ideas, best I can. But I think that's good advice. Don't be a follower, be a student, right? Take advice, but not orders. Take information, but don't let somebody, order your life. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. Excellent note to make. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. Not to do what someone else says. Take what someone else says, process it, think about it, ponder it. If it makes you wonder, if it makes you think, then it's valuable. Then when you go take action, make sure that the action is not what somebody told you to do. Make sure the action is the product of your own conclusion. If you'll follow just a little bit of those simple guidelines, I'm telling you, the learning process can be speedy, swift, powerful. Your learning curve can go up, and then applying it to your business, your life, your family, conversations, equities of all kinds. You'll find some progress like I did that first 5 years when I met a teacher willing to share with me, turn my life around. Progress I couldn't believe happened for me. Okay, let's get started. I want to review, I was here last time and we talked about the 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. And I just want to review those because it lays such a good foundation for all the rest that I want to share with you today. We got a lot of subjects to cover, so we're going to go rather swiftly, okay? Put on your mental track shoes here and run with me today, because I'm going to deal mostly in concepts. Expect you to, fill in a lot of the details, because I got a lot to share. I want to get through it all. But let's lay this foundation again of the 5 major pieces. Happens to be the title of my latest book, but I think it is so.
All right, guys, welcome. Wow, it looks good today. I know it looks a little bit more clear. I don't know what it is, but it looks amazing. Thank you guys so much for hopping on Grand Rising. Can I get some big smiles, big cheesy smiles? Because no matter what happens in this world, no matter what's going on, right, it just feels so amazing that we are aligned, right? We are aligned. Everything is amazing. I feel so good and I'm feeling better every single day. I'm expecting miracles and I get miracles. Tomorrow's Christmas. Tomorrow's Christmas. I am in positive anticipation of everything that is coming for us. Okay, we have so many amazing things coming for us, and it literally feels like tomorrow is Christmas, right? It feels like, we are just in such perfect alignment with everything. And I feel so amazing. And, for my individuals that, maybe you might be dealing with some troubles and you might be dealing with some ups and some downs. We all know that regardless, we are all calm during the storm. And that's what it's all about, fam. So I'm super, super excited. I hope you guys are feeling good, because I definitely am feeling amazing. I'm feeling so blessed. I'm feeling so excited. My energy is so clean. It's so filled with love. It's filled with gratitude. Yes, Akil, today is Christmas, bro. We just feel so good. And for those probably wondering, but what do you mean tomorrow is Christmas, right? Let me give you guys a really quick, nugget. When you live, you ever remember, if you remember when we were kids and, Christmas Eve, the 24th, we would be so excited to wake up on Christmas Day to open up our gifts, because the gifts were already under the Christmas tree. We could see them under the Christmas tree. We knew that our parents, our family bought us gifts that we now get a chance to open. So we were in positive anticipation. There was no doubt in our mind that we had a gift under that tree and that we were going to wake up and do it. Man, that's lit. And boom, we would wake up in positive anticipation, excited, blessed, looking forward to it. And boom, it'll happen, guys. And that's how you want to live. You want to live in positive anticipation that what you want is already coming for you. All right. Even though it might not be happening tomorrow, right? But you still live in that anticipation. Like, man, I'm so happy that what I want is coming for me. If you could live every day like the next day is Christmas, like everything that you want is going to show up for you, you will always live in positive, high vibrations every single day. The moment I started to speak that tomorrow was Christmas and that I'm in a positive anticipation of what is coming for me, guess what, guys? Things just started to happen. Okay, gifts just started to show up. Leaders just started to sign up for my business. Things always end up working in my favor. So just a little quick message. That's not what I came here to talk about today. But, I just wanted to start it off with that. But before we do that, as you guys know, we express gratitude every single call. So take this time right now to express some gratitude. What is one thing that you are grateful for on this beautiful Tuesday morning on March 22nd, 2022 we just missed it at 9:22 this morning. We just missed it. It was almost 9:22. It's 9:23 now. But what are you grateful for this morning? I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my mom. I am grateful for my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for my health, my healthy body, my healthy mind. I'm grateful for, everything in my body. Also, I'm grateful for my eyes. I'm grateful for my nose, my mouth, my ears, my hair, my tongue, my neck, my arms, my fingers, my nails, my legs, my immune system, my respiratory system, my digestive system, my spinal cord that keeps my back straight, and my back is in good health. Like the little things that sometimes we forget to be so grateful for. I'm grateful for my ability to hear, my ability to see, my 20/20 vision, my ability to smell, okay, my ability to taste. Okay, I'm extremely, extremely grateful for those things, guys. Grateful for some eyebrows, like imagine if we didn't have any eyebrows, like think about it. Our eyelashes play such a big part in not allowing certain things to go into our eyes. I'm grateful for my eyelashes. Okay, I'm grateful for the nose hairs, right? Like I'm grateful for my facial hair, all right? Like you got to be grateful. There's so many things in your life and in your body that play such a small, they're so small, but they play such a massive role in your body, right? I'm grateful for what else? Electricity. I'm grateful for Wi-Fi. I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful for the leaders within the organization. Okay, I'm extremely grateful for my mentors, Matt Rosa, Matt Gribby, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Darwin Lopez. All right, I'm grateful for Sana. I'm grateful for Jasmine. All right, I'm extremely, extremely grateful for just everything that's happening in my life. Grateful for Katie, always. Right? Just extremely grateful for everything that happens in my life each and every single day. So, I'm thankful. I'm glad that each and every single one of you are on this call. And I'm excited. All right. So, if everybody has their pens and papers ready, put a 1 in the chat box if you guys have your pens and papers ready. Now, something that someone reminded me to do is, usually on calls I have 3 house rules, but on Mornings with Nano I really never go over the house rules. So I'm gonna start going over the house rules on Mornings with Nano just to give you guys a better intention of how to set things. All right. So house rule number 1 is turn off all devices of distractions. We're gonna be here for the next 45 minutes to an hour, give or take. All right, so make sure that you guys give me your full attention here, because there's a pretty good chance that if you're distracted, you're going to miss the message that I'm going to share here today. So turn off all devices of distractions. House rule number 2 is take notes. It is a proven fact that you will forget, all right, a vast majority of the information that you don't write down. Okay, literally 95% of the information that you don't write down, you will forget it. And I understand if you're driving, you're at work, you can't write it down. That's cool. I get it. But if you have access to a laptop or you have access to note and paper, you should be taking notes. And then last but not least, set your intention. What do you want to get out of this call? All right. What message are you looking for? And I have a really, really good one right now. So today's call is going to be a good one. It's going to be based off of what I read this morning. And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's important that every single person understands this, okay? Now, we have reached a moment of momentum, okay? We have reached momentum, all right? So because we are in momentum, I want to be able to break some things down to you guys, all right? And I told you guys we won't talk about any problems or troubles or anything. But I want you guys to know this, all right? If it wasn't for the troubles, we wouldn't be where we are today. And today I was reading something so powerful that put a lot of things into perspective for me. I realized that everything that happened over the last 6 months had a purpose. And the reason why all of those things happened over the last 6 months was to help me become a better leader, a better son, a better everything, like a better leader, a better son, a better boyfriend. It helped me become a better version of myself overall. Okay. And what I want you all to understand, now that we are all in momentum and all of us are experiencing quantum leaps, we are all having breakthroughs, we are all in positive anticipation that Christmas is tomorrow and we are happy. I want to make sure that you guys understand why everything happened over the last 6 months. Okay. Remember, we're no longer having problems. We no longer have anything that is going wrong in our lives. Everything is happy. Everything is abundant. We are at peace. But I need you guys to understand why God did everything that he did over the last 6 months, because this was so powerful. When I read this morning, it put so many things into perspective for me. I was like, yo, I am so thankful for you, God, because you really, really blessed us beyond belief. And at the time, it might have not seemed like it was, for a good purpose. But now that it is happening, now that we are experiencing the momentum, the quantum leaps, the success stories, it all makes sense. So I'm going to read to you guys a little bit, and I'm going to break it down as to why everything happened. So today's call is called Transformed by Trouble. Okay, that is today's call. Transformed by Trouble. All right, now let's talk about it. All right, and today we're going to be talking about God a little bit. So I hope that you guys are ready for this and you guys are excited about this. So it said, God has a purpose behind every problem. He uses circumstances to develop our character. In fact, he depends more on circumstances to make us like Jesus than he depends on reading the Bible. The reason is obvious. You face circumstances 24 hours a day. Okay. Now, let me go back to that. Let me reread that specific paragraph right there so you guys can stay with me right here. He said, God has a purpose behind every problem. Put a 1 in the chat box if you've had a problem happen over the last 6 months or so, right? If you've had any problems happen to you over the last 6 months, put a 1 in the chat box, please. Right? Now, I want you to stay with me. Every single one of you that are putting that 1 in the chat box, stay with me right there. Okay? So God had a purpose behind every problem you faced over the last 6 months. Even the problems that you are facing right now, okay? Even the problems that you are facing right now, God has a purpose. And this call is going to hit a little bit different for the ones that are really going through something. So I want you guys to really listen and take notes of what I'm going to say here today, because if you're going through something right now, this call is going to hit for the all-time high today. Okay? He says this. He uses circumstances, okay, to develop our character. He uses circumstances to develop our character. In fact, he depends more on circumstances to make us more like him than he depends on people reading the Bible. So think about that. He depends more on the circumstances he puts you through, because remember, we're dealing with circumstances from the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep. So he depends more on those circumstances than he depends on the Bible. Not discrediting it at all. No, that's not what he's saying at all. But he depends more on the circumstances that he's going to put you through on a day-to-day basis to make you more like him. Okay? And the reason is obvious. He says, you face circumstances 24 hours a day. Now, he said, Jesus warned us that we would have problems in the world. No one is immune to pain or insulated from suffering, and no one gets to skate through life problem-free. Life is a series of problems. Every time you solve one, another one is waiting to take its place. Not all of them are big, but all are significant in God's growth process for you. Peter assures us that problems are normal, saying, don't be bewildered or surprised when you go through the fiery trials ahead, for this is no strange, unusual thing that is happening to you. Now, I want you guys to listen to that again. And I want you guys to really, I'm going to go through the chapters and I'm going to reread the paragraphs that I feel like are really meant. I already highlighted the ones that I feel like you guys really need to hear. So I'm going to reread that one. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to reread it, okay? He said, Jesus warned us that we would have problems in this world. So we've already been warned, and we already have, okay, right? We already have a good idea that we're going to face problems in life. No one is immune to pain or insulated from suffering, and no one just gets to skate through life problem free. No one. Life, write this down. Life is a series of problems. Every time you solve one, another is awaiting to take its place. So think about this, guys. Life is a series of problems. Every time you solve one, another is waiting to take its place. I'm reading from the book, The Purpose-Driven Life. It is reading by the pastor Rick Warren. Okay. And what he's done is he's turned, Bible verses and teachings of the Lord, and he's transformed it into a very purposeful book, which is amazing. Rick Warren is one of the top pastors in the world. All right, over 35 million copies sold. Over 35 million copies. Think about that. 35 million copies. You see 1 million copies, 2 million copies, 35 million. So this is one of the best books out there when it comes to finding your purpose, okay? So you got to understand, guys, that everything that you deal with in life, every challenge, every obstacle, every problem that's in your life, okay, you got to understand that it's there for a purpose. All right. And what did he say? He said, life is a series of problems. And every time you solve one, there's another one already waiting to take its place. So think about it. Whatever you've gone through or whatever you're going through right now, you're going to get through it. And then there's going to be another one waiting for it to take its place. Because life is a series of problems. And this is what you guys got to understand. Trust me, this is so powerful. So powerful. And I'm so thankful because of Mornings with Nano, because, I had someone make my day yesterday, for real. I had somebody make my day because they told me, they said, Nano, I listen to you pray in the mornings. And because I watch you pray, and I didn't even know how to pray. I never even prayed. But I started to pray and I started to speak the word, and I was going through something at the time, and now my life has improved. Now I feel more at peace. Now I'm working in the right direction. And that made my day because I served my purpose. I got someone to speak the word. I got someone to believe in their creator just a little bit more. And that individual, and he knows who he is, he made my day. He made my day. That made my day right there. I was so thankful. I was so filled with love and gratitude at that very moment that it made my day. I was like, man, this is why we do it. Because I just jump on Mornings with Nano, and, you do it for the people, and you hope that, people see the value in it. But when you hear the testimonials of people telling you, yo, bro, because I watch you pray in the morning, because I see that you do it every morning, I started to do it and my life started to change. That helped me out so much. That changed my life so much. And that put me in a high vibration right there. But at the end of the day, I give all the glory to God, and I'm thankful for that. So this is what he said. He said, God uses problems to draw you closer to himself. Listen to that one more time. God uses problems to draw you closer to himself. My boy Matt Gribby on the call. Shout out to you, bro. Think about that. Think about that. So you're wondering why you're going through these problems in life. Man, he wants you closer to him. That's what he wants. You need to find a way to build that closer relationship with your creator. He wants you to trust him. He wants you to believe in him more. He wants you to give him your problems, give him your doubts, give him your fears, give him your insecurities, give him your sins. He wants that. And it's so dope because I know what I went through the last 6 months, and I understand it on a deeper level. When I read this today, I'm like, damn, he really did put me through that, because now my relationship with him is better than it's ever been. Every morning in meditation, I speak, and I feel like he's literally right there with me every time. On these calls, I feel his presence. I feel his energy. There's times that I'm in the middle of talking, and then I come back to my senses, and I'm like, bro, wow, that was me? That was me talking? And I'm telling you guys, this is so powerful. So God uses problems to draw you closer to him. All right. And this is so important. All right. It says your most profound and intimate experiences of worship will likely be in your darkest days. When your heart is broken, when you feel abandoned, when you're out of options, when the pain is great, and all you have to turn is to God alone. It is during suffering that we learn to pray our most authentic, heartfelt, honest to God prayers. When we're in pain, when we don't have any energy left for the superficial. Man, that's so powerful right there. So if you guys are right now, who knows? Some people right now might be in massive momentum. They're running the play. They're experiencing growth. Everything is working for them. But there might be some people right now that might be going through some dark times. There might be some people right now that are dealing with some tough issues in their life right now. But what I want you to see is that you can see the dark and you can see the light. Because I want you to know that I was in the dark for some time, but look at the light for Nano now. So use me as an example. Use me as an inspiration. Like, yo, Nano was in the dark for some times. Nano was in the dark for months, but look at him now. He's in the light. Look at his energy. Look at how he's vibrating. Look at what he's attracting. Look at the success stories. Look at the amazing relationship he now has with his creator. I want to use that as an example because right now I'm not there. I'm going to read that again because people keep telling me to read it again, right? Your most profound and intimate experiences of worship will likely be in your darkest days. Wow. What does he say? Your most profound and intimate. The details are in the verbiage that is being used. Make sure you guys are paying attention to the verbiage. Okay, that's very important. Your most profound and intimate. What is intimate? Very close. Your most profound and intimate experiences of worship, okay, when you're talking to him, will likely be in your darkest days. When your heart is broken, when you feel abandoned, when you're out of options, when the pain is great, and you turn to God alone. There's nobody that could get you out of that. You ever been in that position where there's nobody else that could, you can't call your best friend, you can't call your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you can't call your mom, your dad. There's nobody, there's no therapist, there's no friend, there's no mentor, there's no audio, there's no book you could read. The only person and the only entity that can help you get out of it is the Lord. That's the truth. I've been there before. It didn't matter what book I read. It didn't matter what what audio I listened to. It didn't matter how many times I called Matt Rosa and told them that I needed that. No, I had to keep pushing. I had to talk to him. I had to elevate with him. And that's important. And he gets deeper into this stuff, right? He says, it is during suffering that we learn to pray our most authentic, heartfelt, and honest to God prayers. It is during suffering that we learn. Trust me, guys, the things that you experience in the past up until this moment, everything that I experienced in the past, it's the truth. It was in those dark days that I had the most intimate experiences with him. It was those days when I felt abandoned, when I felt out of options, when the pain was great. It was during those days. And even though it was dark, I could still see the light. And now I'm experiencing the light. I'm experiencing the light. I'm like, wow, it all makes sense. It makes sense why I went through what I went through. It makes sense now. Okay? So, listen to this. All right? He said, problems force us to look to God and depend on him instead of ourselves. Paul testified to this benefit. We felt we were doomed to die and saw how powerless we were to help ourselves, but that was good. For then we put everything into the hands of God, who alone could save us. You will never know that God is all you need until God is all you've got. Wow. Make sure you write that last sentence down right there. You will never know that God is all you need until God is all you've got. I'm going to let you guys take that one in a little bit real quick. Let me sip on this. One more time, Natalie. I got you, Natalie, for sure. One more time. Because that one, I needed to read it a few more times. Yes, I got you, Natalie, for sure. You will never know that God is all you need until God is all you got, family. Carmen's like, I'm going to let that marinate. Let it marinate. That's the whole call right there. That's the whole call right there. We can end it right here, and that's it. We don't even got to talk about anything else. Let's go work. Let's go work. Seriously. Let's go work. That's all you need to hear. Because that's what it's all about right there. When I read that today, I'm like, bro, Mornings with Nano's going to be lit today. That shit is over. It's going to be lit tonight. Today, actually. Not tonight. Today. And he follows with this. He says, regardless of the cause, none of your problems could happen without God's permission. Everything that happens to a child of God is Father filtered, and he intends to use it for good, even when Satan and others mean it for bad. What did I tell you guys before? I think like a month or two ago, I told you guys, a lot of people say, yo, I'm facing demons and battling demons. And why do you even give all that energy to Satan, to that entity? Why are you giving that person so much credibility for what you're going through? God is putting you through this, not the devils, not the demons. I hear so many people, they preach that so like with so much encouragement, like that's a flex that you got demons. Like, yeah, bro, the demons got me, and I'm battling demons. What? No. Don't give credit to them. I see so many people on Instagram and so many people on their stories claiming this like that's a flex. Like, yeah, bro, you're battling demons. That's a flex. Like, you're doing something right. No, bro, you're not. Come on, bro. God is putting you through that. God is testing your patience. God is making sure that he grows a closer connection to you. Not no demons. Stop giving energy to that. Stop giving energy to other things outside of God. For real. No way. You shouldn't at all. Okay? He says, because God is in control. Accidents are just incidents in God's plan for you. Because every day of your life was written in God's calendar before you were born. Oof. Accidents are just incidents in God's plan for you. It was just incidents in God's plan for you. It's already been. You guys heard the song God's Plan. You ever hear people talk about it? Yo, it's God's plan. Yo, everything that happens, it's God's plan. Because every day of your life was written in his calendar before you were born. So everything that you go through, it's already like, that's why when I go through stuff now, I'm like, I guess this is God's plan right here. I can't even guess. I know it's his plan. So I just got to look for the treasure in everything that happens. You going through something, you lost your job, you had a bad breakup, a person did you wrong, you lost a family member, everything that you go through is part of God's plan. And he says that in here. He says, accidents are just incidents in God's good plan for you. God's good plan for you. Because every day of your life was written in God's calendar before you were born. Everything that happens to you has spiritual significance. Right? Romans 8:28 and 29 explains why we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and called according to his purpose for them. For God knew his people in advance, and he chose them to become like his son. This gets deep, guys. It gets deeper. Okay? It gets deeper. Now, let me read this to you guys right here because I underlined this one. Listen to this. I'm gonna read this paragraph right here. We are like jewels, shaped with the hammer and chisel of adversity. If a jeweler's hammer isn't strong enough to chip off our rough edges, God will use a sledgehammer. If we're really stubborn, he uses a jackhammer. He will use whatever it takes. Every problem is a character building opportunity. And the more difficult it is, the greater the potential for building spiritual muscle and moral fiber is. We know that these troubles produce patience, and patience produces character. What happens outwardly in your life is not as important as what happens inside of you. Your circumstances are temporary, but your character will last forever. That was powerful right there. Think about that. Sit down and actually think about that, what I just went over right there. And I know I'm reading from it, and you guys are probably like, man, I can't write that stuff all down. You don't have to write it all down. You have to find the major nugget in that paragraph and write it down and relate to it. He said, every problem is a character building opportunity. What do we always say? There's no such thing as bad days. What is the other definition of a bad day? What is the other way to say that it's a bad day? Because I know a lot of people, man, I'm having a bad day. What do I teach you guys what to say? It's a character building day. There's no such thing as a bad day. There's no such thing as a bad day. They are character building days. So when people ask me, hey, Nano, how you're doing? And I know I'm not having as good as a day as I want to, man, I'm having a character building day right now. They building my character. Every problem, think about it, guys. Every problem that you are currently going through right now is a character building opportunity. And the more difficult it is, the greater the potential for building spiritual muscle and moral fiber. Think about that, fam. Whatever you're going through, however good or bad it is, it's building spiritual muscle. It says, troubles produce patience, and patience produces character. Man, I've seen so many people that got tested, that their character got tested, and they folded, and they didn't have the patience to stay all the way through. They didn't have it. They didn't have it in them. They didn't have the patience to wait. They just had to wait a little bit longer, but they didn't have the patience. And troubles produce patience, and patience produces character. That's so powerful right there. Your circumstances are temporary. So what you're going through is temporary, but your character will last forever. There's people that expose their characters through the troubles. And now their character will always be what they exposed because they weren't able to stay patient. They weren't able to stay faithful. They weren't able to stay loyal when times got hard. And that's okay. They'll never eat at a table with me ever again, but I wish them the best. And that's how life works. And that's how life works. Because that's what he says. He says what happens outwardly in your life is not as important as what happens inside of you. Your circumstances are temporary. The circumstances that we go through are temporary, but your character will last forever. And that's what I need you guys to understand. That's what I want you guys to really grasp right here on this call. I always tell people, faith that has not been tested cannot be trusted. One of my favorite quotes of all time. Faith that has not been tested cannot be trusted. Can be trusted, man. How can you be trusted if your faith was never tested? How do we know that you're gonna make it through the tough times? How can I trust you to have my back if you can't even go through a few months of struggle, a few months of trouble? This is nothing compared to the real life struggles that one day we'll have to go through. How can I trust? How can I trust? You know, I always give a massive shout out to, you know, my little brother Michael, Julie, and Melissa, because they've been here with me the longest. They've been here with me 3.5 years. And we've been through some tough times together. Tough times. Ups, downs, people folding on us, turning their backs, everything. You name it, we've gone through it. Systems failed, build it to 1,000, back down to 100, building it back up. And every time they were always there by my side, big bro. They would be the first to pick up the hammers. Where do we start, bro? They never, ever, 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 ever turned their backs, bro. No matter how hard it got, no matter how tough, no matter how many things went against us, no matter how low we got, they was always the first ones. Grab the hammer. What's good, big bro? Where do we start building back up? Never blamed me for nothing. Never said, yo, it's this person's fault, that person's fault. Where do we start? And that is something that I could never pay them back for. There's no amount of money that I can give them to pay them back for that. The only thing I can do is thank them and show them my appreciation over and over and over again for being so real from day one for me. And not for me, honestly, it's not for me that they do it. They're grateful for what I've done for them. But they do it for themselves. They do it because they put their word on this. They said, yo, we're going to do this. And that's real right there. You don't find people like that all the time. I'm telling you, when you find individuals that are willing to ride with you through everything, right? When you're willing to find people like that, yo, cherish them. Cherish them, appreciate them. Tell them how much you love them as much as you can. Because on some real, bro, there's been thousands of people that have been in and out, but very few have stayed through as many tough times as those individuals. So if I were you guys, send a quick message to that person right now. Tell them how much you appreciate them, how much you thank them for never giving up, for never giving up on the vision that we set out to accomplish through everything. Because if we talk about character building days, we've had hundreds of them. We talk about troubles and patience. Man, we've been patient. Trust me, we've been patient. But I know that this time around is going to be better than ever. And that's something that I want you guys to never forget. So, and I mentioned those three because those three have been there for me from the beginning, before anyone else, right? And, I want to say this publicly on this call. Michael, Julie, Melissa, if you guys are here, I want you guys to know that I am so thankful for everything that you guys have done for me, for standing by my side, for always being there for me. It means the world for me. Like, honestly, you guys have no idea. And I want you guys to know that I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And that, I forever have y'all back through everything. Like, our relationship goes deeper than this business. You guys will always be my family, regardless of anything. And that's not discrediting anybody else who's been here 2 years, a year. It's not discrediting. It's just we know what we've gone through. You know what I'm saying? And it's so beautiful to watch their growth now. And to see that they're multiple six-figure earners now as well, and that they're putting their families in better positions. And Julie, who's a mother now, has a beautiful relationship with her son, and she's able to be a stay-at-home mom while building her business. And Michael, Michael and Melissa, who are just 21 years old, making 6 figures already, about to make 7 figures. Like, by the time they're 27, my age, I can only imagine. So huge shout out to them, right? But to continue here, and we could finish up right here, right? He says, problems don't automatically produce what God intends. Many people become bitter rather than better and never grow up. You have to respond in the way that God would. So listen to that one more time. Problems don't automatically produce what God intends. Many people become bitter rather than better and never grow up. So what you have to understand is everything is not there for you to be bitter about it. It's there to make you better. He said, remember that God's plan is good. God knows what is best for you and has your best interests at heart. God told Jeremiah, the plans I have for you are plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Joseph understood this truth when he told his brothers, who had sold them into slavery. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for the good. And that is so important right there. All right. Last thing I want to say is this. All right. This is I think two things. The last two things I want to say is this. And I highlighted these paragraphs because I needed you guys to hear this. He said, it is vital. What is vital? Vital means very important. It is vital you stay focused on God's plan, not your pain or your problems. That is how Jesus endured the pain of the cross, and we are urged to follow his example. Okay? Listen to this. Your focus will determine your feelings. The secret of endurance is to remember that your pain is temporary, but your reward will be eternal. Wow. Thank you. The secret of endurance is to remember that your pain is temporary, but your reward will be eternal. Thank you guys so much. Did you guys know that the reason we say bless you is because when you sneeze, your heart stops for a 0 point something second? And that's why they say God bless you, because for like a 0.1 second, your heart stopped. I think from what I was told, that's why people say bless you.
It also means, well, from what Sarah said, that when you sneeze, that means it's the truth.
It's the truth. So that's how true it was. So when you sneeze, it also means that's how true it was. Right? Yes, it skips a beat. So that's why people say bless you. Just in case you didn't know, fun fact, right? Your heart skips a beat when you sneeze. So it's important that you guys understand that. So our present troubles are quite small and won't last very long. Yet they produce for us an immeasurable great glory that will last forever. Last thing I want to say is this that I highlighted that was so powerful. Listen to this. He said, refuse to give up. Be patient and persistent. The Bible says, let the process go until your endurance is fully developed, and you will find that you have become a man or woman of mature character with no weak spots. Character building is a slow process. Whenever we try to avoid or escape the difficulties in life, we short circuit the process, delay our growth, and actually end up with a worse kind of pain and the worthless type that accompanies denial and avoidance. So what he says? Don't give up. Don't give up for nothing in the world. Why? Because you have to be patient and persistent. Let the process go. Let it go until your endurance is fully developed. Let it go as long as it wants to go. Dude, we were dealing with issues since June. Since June, July, things just seemed to like the whole energy shift, and it was like character building day after character building day after character building day. And just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Think about it, guys. Since June of last year, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Dude, 8 months. 8-9 months of it. Almost, literally. Of just challenge after challenge, problem after problem, character building day after character building day. But look, after all of that, now look at all the blessings that we get. Look at the development. Look at how much better we are. Look at how much closer we are to him. I wasn't speaking about God in June. I wasn't as close to him. I wasn't spreading the word in June, in the summer. So from what you guys see, right? Why did we go through all of this? What would you guys say if you could, after everything I just shared with you guys, why do you think we went through everything we went through over the last 6-7 months? What do you think was the purpose behind everything? Type it in the chat box if you feel like you know the answer. Let me see if anybody knows what the answer is. There's one answer. There you go. Iman got it. To get closer to our Creator. That's why he did it. He did it so we can get closer to him, because he sees what's happening. Look, guys, look at what's happening in the world right now. Look at how bad the energy is in the world out there. Not for us, we good in here. We chilling in here. The energy is amazing in here. But look at the wars, look at the things that are happening in the world, the robberies and people and this and that. He said, let me put them through this stuff now. Let me get them closer, because if not, they're not going to be able to make it in 2022, 2023, 2024. They won't be able to make it. They're not going to be strong enough. I got to develop them. Listen to it one more time. This is the last message. You got to hear it out, guys. He says, refuse to give up. We didn't give up. We didn't give up. You got to understand that. We still here. Doesn't matter if you have money in your bank account. Doesn't matter if you're broke. Doesn't matter if you're in momentum. You here. You didn't give up. So think about it. Refuse to give up. Be patient and persistent. The Bible says, let the process go until your endurance is fully developed. We didn't give up the last 8 months, the last 7-8 months. We let the process go until our endurance was fully developed, right? We are fully developed now. Guys, we are fully developed now. You guys, I hope you guys are listening to me. Somebody said, Nana, what's in your coffee today, bro? Shout out to Jen. That's that Bustelo, right? That Bustelo. We got to get more Bustelo, man. That Bustelo be having me on a different type of time, man. That Bustelo got me on a different type of time. But he says, let the process go until the endurance is fully developed. And you will find that you have become a man or woman of mature character with no weak spots. With no weak spots. There's no weak spots. That's it. We good. All those areas in our life, our emotional intelligence might have not been as good as we wanted it to be. You know, there was a lot of areas in our lives that weren't all there. But guess what? Because we endured and we made it through the last 6-7 months, through everything, through ups, through downs, through COVID, through this, through wars, guess what? Now we have become men and women of mature character with no weak spots. Can I get an amen in the chat box for that? No weak spots. We ready. We are more prepared than majority of the people out there. Listen to me. You guys are more prepared than everybody out there. For the hundreds of people on this call, you have no idea how ready you are for your next blessing. You just need to go out there and embrace that this was God's plan, and you need to go get what's yours. You need to stop playing around with your potential. You need to go out there today and grind every single hour of every single day. And go out there and get what you deserve. Go out there and get what has already been waiting for you. That's it. Get out of your feelings. Get out of it. That's it. Those problems don't exist anymore. Eliminate them from your mind. Look at what he said. He said, character building is a slow process. Dude, it took 8 months for March to come. It took almost, think about it, guys. It was only a few more months and we would have been into this for a whole year. I was like, man, is it ever going to shift? But I'm like, yo, all right, bet. I trust you, Lord. I trust you, God. Just whatever it takes. I'm learning. Every day I was just learning. I was keeping faith. I was praying more. I was practicing more gratitude, because I know that during those times, all right, those that practice more gratitude, those that pray more, those that speak the word more are the ones that are going to be blessed more in abundance, because they kept the faith, they kept the vision during the darkness. When it got dark, everybody lost the vision, but my team and we kept the vision. I kept the light. If I lost the light, who knows how many people would have lost light? Imagine if Nano would have gave up. Imagine. We wouldn't even be on this call right now. That's why I tell you guys, look at the power behind the testimony. I wouldn't have been able to give this testimony if we gave up. If we would have been like, you know what, bro, this is too hard. Let's just go do something else. Let's go find another way to do this, because this right here is not working for us. That don't even sound right, right, Brandon? It don't even sound right. Character building is a slow process. Whenever we try to avoid or escape the difficulties in life, we short circuit the process, delay our growth, and actually end up with a worse kind of pain. So you know what we got to do, guys? We got to pray for those who gave up. We got to pray for them. That's all we can do. Because guess what? They tried to avoid and escape the difficulties of life. They tried to short circuit the process, delayed their growth, and unfortunately, they'll end up in a worse kind of pain. You know why? Because now they have to watch those that didn't give up go and accomplish everything that they was about to accomplish, and now they have to sit and watch that all happen. You know how that must hurt more than anything else. Imagine giving up to go back to doing what you were doing, to then watch everybody who stayed go and accomplish everything that they said that we would accomplish. Imagine that. It's almost like, to give you an example, it's like almost like, yo, you know, you had a chance to win the lottery or play a winning ticket. All your friends played the winning ticket, and you was like, nah, I don't believe in the lottery. And then all your friends go and win the lottery, and you sit there. Now you're the one that stayed with no money, and now all your friends are making tons and tons of money. Just because you didn't believe. Just because you didn't see it all the way through. You have to see it all the way through. He says, he says you'll actually end up with a worse kind of pain, the worthless type that accompanies denial and avoidance. When you grasp the internal consequences of your character development, you will pray fewer comfort me prayers and more confirm me prayers. Use this to make me more like you. You know you are maturing when you begin to see the hand of God in the random, baffling, and seemingly pointless circumstances of life. He said, if you are facing trouble right now, don't ask why me. Instead, ask, what do you want me to learn? Then trust God and keep on doing what's right. You need to stick it out, staying with God's plan, so you'll be there for the promised completion. Don't give up, grow up. And that wraps up today's call. Don't give up. Finish it up, guys. Type it in the chat box. Don't give up. How do we finish it off? More café Bustelo for Neno in the morning. Don't give up, grow up. And that's what it takes right there, fam. And I'll be honest with you guys, and I know some of you guys, look, and I'm going to be real. I know some of you probably jumped on this call and you guys are like, Nano, bro, I don't even have a relationship with my creator. I barely pray. Guys, I was just like you. And I'm telling you, I didn't believe as much as I believe now. It wasn't something that I thought was really something that I needed, for real, for real. Back in the days, I'm like, yo, I could do it. I could figure it out. But nah, you will get humbled real quick. Let me be the one to tell you that you will be humbled real quick if you think that you could do it on your own, fam. I'm serious. You will be humbled so quick. Okay. And I was humbled very fast. So don't wait to get humbled because it's not a good feeling. Learn from me. Like, Neno's reading this book. I need to learn more about this stuff. Let me start learning now so I can avoid 6 to 8 months of challenges. Let me understand this stuff now, because now when things happen, guys, I'm so at peace. I'm so at peace. It's not why me, is what can I learn from this? I'm not in pity and I'm not feeling bad about this. I'm growing through this, right? This is so key. And I love that chapter. That chapter changed me for real. This book is changing my life. Seriously. I know I recommend so many books to you guys, but this book for real, out of a lot of the books that I've read in my life, this one I will say has changed my life for the better, because it got me closer to my purpose. It helped me understand life on a deeper level. And now it makes so much sense as to why 35 million copies were sold. Yo, this morning I read the Bible. Look, I got it right here. This morning I started to read the Bible, because to read something to you guys really quick from yesterday's reading, right? He said, transformed by truth. That was yesterday's topic, was transformed by truth. And he said, that people have all the time in the world to be on Instagram. People have all the time in the world for everything else, but they don't make the time to read the word of God, and they expect for God to bless them. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, bro, I be on Instagram hours throughout the day. I talk to people, I do all of this stuff, but I don't have 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to sit down and read the word. Nah, bro, no more. And he said that here. He said, let me find it for you guys. He said, right here, I must apply its principles, right? It says, I must apply its principles. Receiving, reading, researching, remembering, and reflecting all the word are all useless if we fail to put them into practice. We must become doers of the word. This is the hardest step of all, because Satan fights so hard to not do it. He doesn't mind you going to Bible studies as long as you don't do anything with what you learn. We fool ourselves when we assume that just because we have heard or read or studied a truth, we have internalized it. Actually, you can be so busy going from class to class, seminar to seminar, Bible conference to Bible conference, but if you don't implement what you've learned, you did not practice what God teaches, which is the implementation of it. Without implementation, all of our Bible studies are worthless. Jesus said, everyone who hears the words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. So if you are not, that's what he said. I'm like, I want to build my house on a rock. What I'm building right now is an empire. So I got to study the word and I got to implement this stuff. Okay. And to be honest, guys, all these books we read, Purpose-Driven Life, all these personal development books that we read, the Jim Rohn, the Compound Effect, the Power of Awareness, all of these books that we read, I hope you guys know it all comes from this right here. This is the real sauce. And I'm not an expert at this. I'm not considering myself an expert or a master of it, but it all comes from here. Seriously, all of it. And anybody can tell you it all comes from here. So we must apply it. And it was so dope to remember that and to read that. So, question to consider: what has God already told me in his word that I haven't started doing? And that was it. I'm like, I need to start reading it more. He's told me so many times and I just never did it. To be honest, today was, from what I remember, it probably was either the second or the third time that I've ever picked up a Bible and read it, to be 100% honest and truth with all of you guys here. It was something that just I wasn't doing it for some reason. I would study the word, I would study this stuff right here, Jesus calling, and I would study, and I would read, and I would hear it, and I would go to church, and I would listen to Mike Todd, but I never really picked it up and like, all right, let me start reading it, like how I read a book every day. But that's something I want to start doing every morning now. I grow up. Everything I went through in the last few months was for this. It was for this moment right here, guys. And I want to give a huge shout out to 3 specific people on this call right here. Their names are Danye, Miss Sandy, and Jay Miles. And the reason for it is because, they're older than me. They're Miss Sandy, if I'm not mistaken, she's in her late 50s. Okay. My brother Jay Miles, he is in his 40s. Danye as well, late 30s, early 40s. I can't remember off the top, but they're older than me. And they give me they're mentors to me. They're my big brothers and big sister, and they give me confirmations because they already have that relationship with the Lord. They already have this anointings over them, and they pray over me, and they always let me know, like, yo, good job, little bro. You're leading down the right direction. You're doing the right thing. They pray over me. They guide me. They show me the way. And I just want all of you, to know that Jay Miles, Sandy, and Danye are big brother, big sisters to me, and they mean the world to me. And I want to thank you guys as well for just always giving me those confirmations that I'm doing the right thing. The same way you guys look for me for confirmation in the business that you guys are doing the right thing, I look to you guys when I hear Miss Sandy, when I hear Danye, when I hear Jay, and they telling me like, yo, bro, good job, yo, Nano, do this, like, you should do a little bit more of this. Like, they're my mentors in that area. So I just wanted to give you guys my gratitude, because it's a day of gratitude, guys. So I appreciate you and I love y'all so much. But with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I went a little bit over, but it was a legendary call and we needed to hear everything here. So if you got value from today's call, 333s in the chat box. If you got value from today's call, because today's call was legendary. Legendary. Yes, it was. Man, I'm so thankful. This call was dope. I know so many of you guys are ready to take it all the way up to a whole nother level now. And it's solid when 500 plus people are still on the call, ready to go, waiting for the prayer so they can go and start their day. So let me not keep you guys any longer. I'm not even going to say I'm sorry for, being this long, because God wanted it to be this long, because we need to hear each and every single conversation. All right. So, quick prayer, everybody bow your heads and let's pray really quick. Father God, thank you so much for waking us up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We are super blessed and excited to be here in this moment. We want to first start off, God, by just thanking you for all the obstacles, for all the tests, for all the challenges that we experienced over the last 6 months. And, during the time, they seemed hard. They seemed confusing. But now that we're here on March 22nd, 2022, it makes all the sense in the world as to why, those obstacles were put in our lives, why those challenges were experienced. And it was because you just wanted us to grow closer to you, God. And we want you to know that right now we are closer to you than we've ever been. We are speaking the word each and every single day. We are opening Bibles, nowadays. We are speaking it. We are, allowing others to also grow closer to you. And it's just such an amazing time right now, because this is exactly what our purpose is on earth, is to serve and get people closer to you. And I'm just so thankful that you've used me as a vessel to spread the word. But there's so many other of your children on these calls that also spread the word and are also great examples and are also vessels. So all that we ask, God, is continue to put your hand over us and guide us. You are our leader. We follow you. We follow exactly what you tell us to do. And we are just so thankful, because we know that everything that is happening in our life is your plan. And we don't doubt anything. We are not insecure about anything. We trust you 100,000%. We know that every single step that we take in our lives is with your guidance. We know that everything that happens in our life moving forward is God's plan, and we won't take anything personal moving forward. We know that everything that's happening is happening for a purpose. So we thank you so much for everything that you do for us and everything that you will continue to do for us, God. And that's all I really wanted to say for us today is just thank you. Continue to bless us, continue to guide us, continue to show us the way, continue to, provide us with the wisdom that we need, more breakthroughs, more quantum leaps, more success stories, more Christmas, more. Yes to all that's positive and all that comes from you, God. We love you so much and we appreciate you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Let's go. What a great call. 500 plus. If you got value from today's call, just like this video, subscribe to the channel. All right. And let's finish it off right there. All right. I love you guys so much. Purpose Driven Life by Pastor Rick Warren. All right. Miss Sandy actually told me that she already read the book years ago. I'm like, Miss Sandy, you're the best. And if you guys don't know Miss Sandy, you guys should follow her. She's on Mornings with Nano every single day. She is an OG in the game. I love her so much. She has so much wisdom, so connected on a different level, and she's amazing. Maybe one day we can have Miss Sandy on Mornings with Nano because she's she's good. She's really good, and she's the sweetest, the most loving individual that you can ever meet. And she's running the play. Like, she's gonna be one of our 6-figure earners in our business this year. This year.
With her kids too in the business.
With her kids in the business, who are gonna be chairman and chairwoman. Shout out to Courtney and my brother Justin as well. So God bless, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. If you guys are in the Miami area, there is a crypto event happening today. So if you are in the Miami area and you wanna, come to the event, let me know. We're gonna be doing a crypto event tonight at 7:30. It's gonna be around the FTX arena, around that area, just so you know. All right. So love you guys. Don't give up, grow up, and have a blessed rest of your day.
Let's go.